Hello? What up? It's me, Tangle Tower. This is a game from Super Flash Brothers, SFB, right? Super Flash Brothers games. It isn't a direct sequel, I don't think. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. Maybe it's a direct sequel. To Detective Grimoire in the Swampy Swamp. I played that like 8 months ago? 9 months ago? I don't remember. Actually, it probably was like 10 months ago. I think it was September. I played it last year. Anyway, Tangle Tower. It's a point and click. It's a detective game. The good thing about these games, though, is they're fully voiced. I remember that the voice quality was really low in Detective Grimoire, and it didn't really matter too much, but the audio quality was like... The audio quality was worse than my microphone, right? Which kind of expected a bit more. I don't know. But the file size of the game was like 1.5 gig, so that's probably why. Anyway, Detective Grimoire, Tangle Tower. Let's get tangling. I don't even know what the fuck. Why do I come up with like the most fucking stupid lines? Like what the? I need new writers. I need new writers, dude. Whew. Lake's Edge. Swag. Look at that duck.
Is that just rainwater? Looks a little weird.
The birds seem to like it.
They're even singing a little tune. Toot, 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 toot.
Okay.
Please don't do that.
It's a bird bath. Is that just rainwater?
The birds seem to
They're
like
even singing. Toot, toot.
Please don't do that.
Is that just rainwater? They're even...
Alright, we've heard it. We've heard it.
It's the only way on or off the island.
What a comforting thought.
Nice hair. What do you call this hairstyle? Is it space buns with like a afro with, I don't know if these are bangs.
You ready, Sally?
Grimoire, I've been standing here for 7.5 minutes.
So it is a Detective Grimoire game, alright. Like I kind of knew it was, I knew it was the character, but I was thinking, is he gonna have a different name?
Just checking.
Do you have the map?
Yeah, but it's basically blank. Did you read the case file?
I'm not sure yet. It's really not a lot to go on. Did you read it?
Yeah, I'll read it on the way to the crime scene.
Damn. Alright. So even though it's fully voiced, we do have some stuff to read. Murder victim Freya Fellow, age 19, died whilst painting a portrait of Flora Fellow, age 58. It's probably her grandmother. I like just clearing my mouth. Oh my god. I like just clearing my throat into an open mic, is what I wanted to say. Okay. From the top. Murder victim, Freya Fellow, 19. Died whilst painting a portrait of Flora Fellow, 58. Location, Flora's Tower. Flora was present as she was posing for a portrait. Freya Fellow was found lying on her back with a single stab wound on her chest. No weapon was found at the scene, but the subject of Freya's unfinished painting is holding a knife. The red color on the tip of the knife is not paint. It was discovered to be blood. So no weapon was found, but there is blood painted on the painting of a knife. And if you look at the painting, and you look at the, I don't know, chalk outline, tape outline, it looks like if she was found face down, that she was running away from the canvas. Makes sense? Makes sense. Okay. Alright. Let's check the map. Map is basically blank, just like Grimoire said. Loving the little wiggly line chibis. I guess we're going here.
Spooky. What do you think it's for?
I think it's to scare away detectives.
Is it working?
No. And it's full of the same weird water that was in the lake.
Any fish in there?
Not a single one. Although there is something in there.
It's a cassette tape, or it used to be.
Alright, we got a moldy cassette tape.
It's a statue of some hideous, scaly, bipedal fish monster
Playing a harp.
Could it be?
playing a harp. Hang on a second. This isn't just a regular statue, is it?
I forgot what the name of the monster is in the first game. We're googling it. What is the name of the monster in the first game? Swampy? Also, this music is very Tim Burton-esque. Boggy! It was boggy. Yeah, very Tim Burton music, Tim Burton.
Something tells me we're not gonna solve this
Which,
just yet.
when I say very Tim Burton music, it's kind of a stupid thing to say. Because what I'm referring to is more so the music from Tim Burton movies. Specifically like Nightmare Before Christmas and Edward Scissorhands and yeah, mostly those two. In which case, it's music by Danny Elfman. So I should correct myself. I should say it's very Danny Elfman music because that's his sound.
Let's come
We're not
back.
going to brute force this
Must
because
do
we need clues,
something.
right? We need
You'd hope
clues.
so, wouldn't you?
Yeah, we don't need to touch this. There's an
It's a
egg.
stone carving. Wonder how it got cracked.
I think it's supposed to look like that. It's an egg.
It's a stone
I
carving.
think it's an egg.
What animal is that?
An eagle?
Hawk. Bear. Lizard.
Right, of course. A hawk bear lizard.
It's a bandstand.
Bit small for a bandstand.
It's a one-man bandstand.
Why is she so sassy? Do I have a profile for her? Nope, no profile for her.
It's a path through the garden. Leads up to the house, I assume. This is some garden.
Do the plants all look a little strange to you?
Your hair looks very strange to me. I think that's it. I think we've clicked on pretty much everything, right?
A bench of solid cold stone.
My favorite kind.
She's so sassy. Alright, next area. Letters missing.
What?
Oh, there's an O on the floor.
Oh yeah. Tangle Tower.
Twir.
Look at this face. Oh my god.
Oh,
What?
oh,
Tangle.
twir.
Tangle Tower.
Little bird feeders.
How do you know they're for birds?
Ah, there's a heart engraved in the tree. I didn't know people actually did that.
PPFF.
Pee-pee.
Do you think he'll start to move if we try to go inside?
No, I think he'll just silently judge us.
I've noticed a couple of things so far. There's an R on his thing, there's an O on the floor, and there's, you know, PP, PF, PP. But I don't think those are important. I think the most important thing here is probably going to be this letter.
Is that an envelope?
I'm liking how, typically in these point and click games, you have elements that stand out from the other elements, and they're in a different art style. So you see how the background is very painterly? There's no outlines on the background. The background is painted, right? It's made up of layers, probably painted darks to light, of like, you know, the environment. And then sometimes in point and click games, your point and click elements are painted in, normally, I don't want to say brighter colors, but normally like more saturated colors, and then the contrast is higher on the objects, so they pop from the background. In this game, that actually blended in really well.
It's been opened.
You know what I mean? Like the envelope
Letters,
looks like
huh?
it's painted into the environment.
Let's read it.
Isn't that an invasion of someone's privacy?
No, definitely.
Letter. The envelope has been ripped open, there's a single piece of paper inside. The combination is drawn on the other sheet. Once you have it memorized, destroy it. I do not agree with your reasons. You will not find it down there. So there's another sheet that had a combination that was destroyed.
Should we ring?
Why would we not?
Oops. I'm skipping dialogue. The only way to advance the dialogue seems to be to click. You can't use spacebar.
It's a little melody.
Should we ring the doorbell?
Why would we not? It's a little melody.
Okay. Do I need to memorize the melody?
A path leading towards the stone square.
I'm gonna go to the other place first. I don't want to go right into the building yet. I know it's probably gonna be the main thing. Like this will be the foyer, these will be the towers, but
Let's head to the crime scene first.
let's have a look around the
It's
grounds.
at the top of the west tower, I think.
Oh, she's not gonna let me. Yeah, this is some nice art. It's all way higher quality than the Detective Grimoire game. So, I didn't actually know this, but I grew up watching Super Flash Brothers Flash animations on Newgrounds back in like 2004, 2005, like, and I think I watched a couple of them on other websites like Miniclip back in the day, and Funny Junk, Miniclip, and Newgrounds. That was like the things for maybe 2001 to 2007. That's about the time that I was on them. I had no idea that this was Super Flash Brothers, like SFB games. I didn't put two and two together. But then when I was making the thumbnail to upload my Super Flash Brothers playthrough, to upload my Detective Grimoire playthrough, I looked for Detective Grimoire art, and I found all this old art, and I'm like, what the fuck? There was an original Detective Grimoire game, then there's the Steam release, and the Steam release is like everything, but is better, right? Like, there's no reason to play the original Flash game, as far as I can tell. And then this game was released in 2021, which will be the reason why it's all in this beautiful 1080p, actually full screen, good music quality, good lines, like, good lines of dialogue with like crisp audio. Alright, anyway, enough rambling. We got F and we got P. Let's go up, let's work left to right. So we'll start at this door.
It's not locked.
It's not locked, so does that mean I could just go straight in? It do. Very nice map. Very nice map.
Finally, we get to investigate a murder in a spooky mansion.
It's not that spooky, really.
Don't ruin this.
It actually isn't that spooky. It's pretty well lit. Like, there's nothing spooky.
A door.
Oh, what's behind it?
A room.
Why is she so sassy?
This one has a big P.
That's probably important.
How very perceptive of you.
A big letter F.
Of course. Who doesn't hang a giant banner of their initial in the lobby of their mansion?
What is that?
I think it's a family tree.
It is. So, let's check for inbreds. Okay. Alright. So Lord and Lady Fellow had 2 children, Flint and Felix. And then Flint married Emily and had Fitz. And then Lord Fellow, I'm confused. Lord Fellow married somebody else? Am I reading this correctly? Like, the Lord and Lady Fellow had these 2 kids, and then Lord Fellow had kids with somebody else, whose name is Selena Stonetop, and they had Felicia Fellow. And then Felicia and Damien had Freya. Also, the banners in the background change. Do you see this? Like, based on, Hold up. Hold up. Yeah, based on, like, how they combine, I guess. Alright, alright. So, Freya is, Freya is granddaughter to Lady Fellow, right? Am I high? I think I've lost it already. Freya Fellow, right? Felicia Fellow was the mother, and Damien Dusk is her father, okay? And where's the crime scene report? Flora Fellow was in the room when it was being painted, right?
What?
Flora Fellow is... It's hard to read. It looks like it says Floored Fellow and Flady. Alright, Flora. Flora Fellow. So I guess Flora Fellow is Lady Fellow's real name. Alright, whatever. Let's have a look at this.
It's a big glass tube filled with water.
There are weeds in there. And sand.
It's an aquarium?
Could be. Except there's nothing living in it anymore.
Sally, check those plants for clues.
Is soil a clue?
Sally, check those
Is
plants.
soil a clue?
Sally, check those...
Is soil a clue? Finally, we get to it. Don't ruin this.
Alright, I think we're done here. Let's go left first. It actually wants me to go up though, right? Ooh, it wants me to go right up here. Do I do it? Screw it, right?
Let's take a look at that painting first. There it is. The unfinished portrait of Flora Fellow.
So, what? Freya was killed halfway through painting it.
Looks that way.
Pretty cool painting. Digital painting. Very nice use of framing. Composition is very nice. Very nice use of detail, like fading away towards the edges. Beautiful, right? I guess because it's unfinished though. Nice silhouette. Nice character silhouette. Very readable. Very readable silhouette. I give this painting a 9.9 out of 9.9. Yeah. The red substance on the tip of the knife is actual real blood. Cool.
I wonder if all of Freya's paintings are this creepy. Maybe it's just because she never got to finish it.
There's something wrong with the crime scene. And something really weird about the murder weapon.
We didn't find a murder weapon.
Exactly. Exactly. Blood. Oh, yeah. Flora Fellow is holding a knife tipped with blood because it stabbed Freya.
Flora Fellow is holding a knife tipped with blood because it stabbed Freya. Almost. Maybe just change one thing.
Because Freya put it there?
Flora Fellow is holding a knife tipped with blood because Freya put it there. Nope.
Oh, shit. That's way wrong. What up, Tortimus? Flora's portrait is holding a knife tipped with blood because it stabbed Freya.
Flora's portrait is
Woohoo!
holding a knife tipped with blood because it's.
You were here for the last one of this game, right? Detective Grimoire in Boggy's Bog.
Weird, huh?
You think Freya was stabbed by a painting. Not by the woman from the painting, but by the painting itself.
I think you were. Weren't you
Freya
there
was
for
standing
Boggy's Bog?
Right up by the canvas
No?
when she was killed. There's blood on the knife. It's the murder weapon.
Right.
Maybe you weren't.
But it's not actually a knife. It can't stab.
See any other knives around here?
So, we've been called to investigate a murder. A young woman was painting a portrait. Freya was painting a portrait of Flora. And there's no murder weapon. She had a stab wound to the chest, and she fell and died on her stomach. And the painting that she was painting has Flora wielding a knife, and the blood in the painting is real blood. And yes, it was that weird swamp detective game. Boggy's Bog.
Case closed.
The case is not closed. And even if you were right, where does that leave us? A painting can't be a murder suspect.
True. Tangle Tower, an unfinished painting. So, we gotta click on some stuff. This actual whole room looks like it's in disrepair.
We're at the top of the tower, right?
I think so. Why?
Doesn't matter. It's nothing.
This is floored, like there is something above it, right? Like if this is a domed tower, and if you look at the map of the thing, I guess there couldn't be on this map, but maybe on the other map. Anyway,
It's so dark back there.
Somehow the sunlight doesn't seem to be making it very far into the room.
okay.
Is that a gramophone?
I think so. Except it's got a tape deck instead of a turntable.
It's also got a big crack down the middle.
You know what else has a big crack down the middle? My ass. Anyway, it plays cassette tapes instead of vinyl records. It's pointed towards the middle of the room. There's noticeable cracks running down all the way from the horn down through the tape deck. True. Can I combine items? Is that a thing I can do right now? Can I combine stuff? I don't think I can combine items
What
yet.
about the cassette tape?
Yeah, it sure is. Ink.
Ooh. Cassette tape has a crack down the middle. There's a handwritten message on it that says, "To Freya." So Freya's the young girl painting the portrait, so possibly this is from a
think it still
scorned
works?
lover. I'm just making this up.
The gramophone? We could give it a go.
Let's click on it again. Let's play the tape I found this tape in the water. You haven't missed very much. I've only played like 10 minutes. Let's see what this tape says. I'm kidding, that was me.
Weird.
It's someone humming a tune.
It's someone humming a tune. It's a recording of someone walking outdoors. A distant humming melody can be heard. It sounds like the melody that the chimes on the door play. Can we remix it? What wicked! Alright, let's play this one. California girls were undeniable. Daisy Dukes bikinis on top.
It's piano music.
It sounds like the music you would have in like a survival horror game on a PlayStation 1. Like, this is the menu music you would get when you're like in the save game room. They give you a rewind function. Hold on. I'm listening for hidden messages. Dude, I'm not even kidding, right? I actually think I am quite talented in how I can make fart noises with my hand. Listen to this, right? Deep, bassy fart. Right? High-pitched, squeaky fart. Right? Questioning fart. See? Like it's asking a question. Rippling, thundering fart. Listen. Right? Like, I feel like I'm really good at making fart noises. Right? I feel like I'm super talented at making fart noises. Can I do a short? Yes. Right? Or... right? Like, I'm pretty good. My fart control is next level. Alright, anyway, let's have a look at the paintbrush, because the paintbrush would also have blood on it.
Supposedly, Freya was working on the painting when she was killed. Looks like she was still holding her paintbrush and palette when she fell.
Didn't even get a chance to clean her brush.
Okay. The palette has a variety of paints loaded onto it. The largest blob of black in the middle. It's kind of green, but okay. Paintbrush is still covered with dried red paint. If the paintbrush is covered in dried...
Freya was working on the painting when she was killed. Looks like she was still holding her...
Didn't even get a chance to clean
If her
brush.
paintbrush is covered in dried red paint, and we can clearly see this is red paint and not blood, how did the blood get on the knife?
Freya's painting supplies.
Small glass pots of red, yellow, blue, black, and white. The glass pots are cracked down one side. Okay.
Freya's painting supplies.
Right, we've already seen these. Let's have a look at the painting in more detail.
The unfinished portrait of Flora Philo.
So, what? Freya was killed how?
Looks that way.
I have to say, I think that the painting came to life and killed somebody.
That's the only door in and out of the room.
It's also on the floor.
Sure is. Guessing it's not supposed to be down there.
Oh, I thought this was a hinge and it would open up like this. But no, this door's been kicked in.
Is that an egg? An egg with bird feet.
Everything is cracked in this game. You know what else is cracked? My Fortnite skills.
It's also covered in gemstones. What a completely ordinary object.
Okay.
I think it's a container for something.
It's
Those
a
gems
Fabergé
look like they
egg.
come off. Nope.
Did you check? I'm pretty sure it explains where to put it. It's some kind of clue about where to...
Is it rotated? It's rotated. So, purple and yellow go here and here. And then red and green Blue goes here, and red goes here. And then yellow goes here. And green goes here. Then on the long one, it's purple at the short end and blue on the big end. I think this is it.
I guess that's wrong.
What's
Oh,
the deal?
fuck.
Must mean something.
Swap positions of the gems, rotate the egg to see a clue in the back. I mean, I think I have it, right? It's just like a little bit wrong. See, this zigzag matches up with this. So you would go the short end is purple and yellow, right? What kind of emote is this? It's a turtle with like a present on his back? That's pretty cool. I said his. I'm sorry for misgendering the turtle, if that's not his gender. I don't know how he identifies. Yeah, long tail green, short tail red, and then this long one. This long one should be purple on both ends, which it is, right? See how this is purple on both ends? Oh! Oh! I've been fucking up. That's it.
I got it.
Yeah, I was fucking up purple and pink.
I'm impressed. Did it unlock? What's in there?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Well, I'm not leaving without a clue. An empty egg is a clue, right?
Right, we stole the egg. The lining of the egg is soft velvet-like material. The egg is supported by a stand made of brass. It rests on three strange feet with pointed claws. And the claws have 3 toes, just like Boggy in the old game with Boggy. Remember them?
A bunch of old books, covered in dust now, but they look well read.
That's a big neck.
Flora... fellow?
Hey, sorry to barge in. I'm sure you're still in some distress.
We need to ask you a few questions, I'm afraid.
Did you witness the murder, Flora?
Nothing. What do we do?
Not
Throw
sure.
the egg at her head.
She's entitled to her silence, I suppose.
For now.
We're not even police, we're just investigators. So we asked her about the encounter, so it has a tick. Let's ask her about herself.
Is there anything you'd like to tell us, Flora?
Is she nodding?
I don't really know anything about you at all.
I think that's the way she likes it. We'll just have to ask other people about her.
Yeah, okay.
Freya was painting your portrait yesterday. Is that right?
Our
Was this
first
something you
person,
had planned with her
our first
ahead of time?
suspect, and we can't
Was
even
there
talk.
something special about yesterday?
So
Did you talk to Freya at all while she was painting you?
the other game
She's not
allows
going
you
to
to
answer us,
use
is she?
other people's answers to question
least we can
like
say
previous
that.
suspects. So this part up here that says like is locked, this will unlock when we do something, like possibly present her with a piece of evidence, or you know. See, like I'm showing her the brush and palette and she doesn't care. I show her the paints, she doesn't care. Sometimes there's a trigger.
Flora, this is your egg? Why do you keep it locked?
Is there supposed to be something in there? Or is it always empty?
Do you think the egg would be big enough to hold the knife? It's hard to tell because of the art style of the game, but I think it'd be hard. It'd be
Did you ask Freya to paint this?
good
Or
enough,
was it
right?
her
Like big
idea?
enough.
What is that you're holding in the painting, Flora? Some people have been saying it's a knife.
I don't think she knows anything about
Is
the
this
tape.
your gramophone?
Do you know why it's cracked?
She's giving me nothing, man. Nothing. I'm kind of just exhausting all my options here. I'm not going to do this for every character. It's just that, like, she's the first person the game wants you to talk to.
Were you close with Freya? How are you two related?
Freya is Flora's granddaughter.
Did you kill Freya?
Grimoire.
What? I don't even think she's listening.
Oh, she's listening.
What's the name of the girl that's with us? I forgot her name. It only said it once, and I've completely forgotten it already. Alright, let's go investigating. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 places to invest, 7 places to investigate that are all unlocked, and we got 4 places that are locked. I like to start on the left in games, typically. But I feel like clearing the outside is a good idea, so let's go outside. Let's go straight to the suspect, right?
Whoa, nice cape.
You're not fellows or pointers. I'm sure I shall immediately regret asking. But who are you, and what is your business here?
I'm Sally, and this is my sidekick Grimoire.
Private Detective Grimoire.
Really? You're a detective. If this is a joke, it's not a good one.
Who are you, anyway?
Private Detective Hawkshaw.
Oh, nice.
Another
Hawkshaw's
detective?
a cooler name than Grimoire. Maybe I'll become her sidekick.
You're not on the Freya fellow case, too, are you?
That is classified information between myself and my client. Clearly, this is something which eludes you. But a real detective refrains from handing out informations to persons unknown.
Oh, right.
Now, if you would, I have work to do.
I'm gonna ask her about Flora.
Quite the stoic statue, isn't she? I can only dream of being as cold and indifferent as Flora Fellow.
You think she's hiding something?
Perhaps. She has some strange habits. I heard she barely sleeps, an hour here or there, sporadically. Spends the rest of her time staring up at the sky.
Maybe she's a vampire. Let's ask about the painting.
Makes quite an impression, doesn't it? Although I can't imagine why she painted Flora wielding a knife.
You didn't see a knife anywhere in Flora's room, did you?
I did not. I conclude whatever stabbed Freya must have been brought into the room from outside. Unless, of course, it was the painting itself.
Surely you don't believe in that kind of
Painting
thing.
came to life. I told you.
Detective's job is to examine every avenue of thinking.
Let's ask about the tower, and then I think that's it.
Tangle Tower. No idea why they insist on calling it that. It's not even a tower. It's little more than a pair of turrets stuck on either side of a mansion.
Have you searched the whole place?
I believe so. Why?
He wants to know if you found any secret rooms.
I'm afraid the residents of Tangle Tower are far too ordinary for anything like that. I was disappointed too.
There's a room to the east here on the main map that we haven't found yet. This is another room.
Is that a clock?
If it is, it's a clock with 4 faces.
Got a clock with 4
I'm
faces.
guessing it doesn't tell the time.
So what does it do?
Well, this looks like the silhouette of a number 2, right? And each dial moves the dials adjacent to it. We don't know this pattern though, so I guess it doesn't matter. Each one has 4 positions. Yeah, each dial only has 4 positions.
Reset the puzzle?
I want to quit the puzzle.
I'll do this later.
Yeah.
A wooden trunk that opens up into a full desk.
I want one.
There's a metal plaque on the bench.
Is there a message engraved on it?
I think there was at one point, but someone scratched it off.
It's a big stone dais.
Biggest one I've ever seen. First one, too.
A giant glowing gemstone full of plants.
AKA a greenhouse.
Alright, let's go to the greenhouse. There's a bug.
That's a handsome beetle. Looks like he might have magic powers.
What the fuck? She just comes out with random shit.
Hanging baskets. They're so high up.
To you, maybe.
You're only 2 inches taller than me.
2 inches makes all the difference.
Ain't that right, boys? Ain't that right? You know what I'm saying?
A little chart of, actually, I have no idea what it's about.
Alrighty, this is very clearly I think this is the combination for the clocks. This symbol looks like one of the clock symbols, but it might not be.
Kinda reminds me of a periodic table.
It do.
What do you make of it?
Not a whole lot.
Do I need a piece of paper? Also, there's a person standing there. I'm gonna get a piece of paper in case I need to take notes. I normally have a piece of paper for every detective game I play. It makes me feel like a real detective if I take physical notes. A lot of the time though, it's just copying down combinations because I don't want to flick back and forth between the menu and memorize things.
This one's in a little pot.
Okay, that is definitely not edible.
It looks like a gemstone, don't you think?
Potted fruit. Potted fruit with a hard gemstone-like skin. The soil in the pot is an unusual blue color.
Tools. Used by a gardener. For gardening.
I mean, you should look at the tools in case they were the murder weapon.
Bags of soil.
It's so blue. It's glass, but I can't see through it.
Total oxymoron.
I am not.
Alrighty, let's talk to the person.
Sally, don't move. We're being watched.
Yeah, I see him. He's a little too big to hide in the bushes. Is anyone going to say anything? Or shall we just stand around staring at each other?
Right, sorry.
Sorry.
That's better. I'm Sally. And the guy hiding behind me is Detective Grimoire. Who are you?
Fitzfellow, the gardener.
Mm-hmm. And why are you so tall?
I don't know.
Everybody in this game seems to have the exact same personality. Flora, Hawkshaw, and Fitz. Hawkshaw and Fitz are like all the exact same person. Let's ask about the potted fruit.
This is a good example of how things work. I mix that soil here in the greenhouse. It's made with water from the lake.
And it makes the fruit grow all shiny and gemstony.
Sometimes, you never really know what's going to happen.
And what do you do with this shiny, inedible fruit?
You look at it.
Okay, let's not ask about... I mean, it's not a type of game that you can mess up by asking the wrong questions. You are meant to exhaust all possibilities. But I feel like asking about the tape or the letter wouldn't be a really good idea. I think I'm gonna ask about the portrait.
What do you think that is in Flora's hand?
I don't know. It does look like a knife, but Flora wasn't holding anything at all when I saw her after the murder. But there's something bothering me. Something else.
What?
When we went into Flora's room, she wasn't standing in this position.
Well, she probably would have moved around a little bit by then.
She wasn't standing at all. She was kneeling on the floor. Nice painting. Gives you a pretty good idea of the layout.
The lake looks like it forms a perfect circle around the island.
It might seem strange to you, but nature is quite capable of producing perfectly geometric forms.
And those mountain cliff things around the outside?
We don't know much about
I didn't
them.
even notice
They're
those.
unscalable. Not even Freya could have gone up there.
What's that?
This painting, it's speculative. There are no photographs from this angle as far as I know.
So Freya just made it up.
Let's call it an informed estimation.
He's kind of defensive about Freya. Let's not ask anything else.
Fitz's room is unlocked. It's up in the fellow tower.
This could be interesting.
Let's go now? Yeah, let's go now. Which one is it? It's this one, top left. I think eventually we're gonna get into... Oh my god, his room is empty as hell. Okay. What I was gonna say is, I think eventually we'll get into every room, obviously. But it's not gonna be too difficult, right? Like, it's not gonna be difficult to get into them. I mean, we just talked to this guy and he gave us this room.
Oh, wow.
What?
It's a big empty space.
This card is the second item we found that has love heart things on it. We had this to Freya, and he was being defensive about Freya, and we have a pink envelope.
It's a little handmade card. Someone's drawn a heart on the front.
Who do we know that would make handmade cards?
Inside
Freya.
it says, "To Fitz, from PP."
But PP wouldn't have been Freya. I think Freya and Fitz are brother and sister. Because Freya fellow, right? And Fitz fellow.
An empty glass and an empty plate.
Looking at it is making me want to cry.
Why?
I don't know. That poor plant.
Looks pretty healthy to me.
Healthy, but sad. I think it would rather be outside.
What?
There's someone outside the window.
Something outside the window. It's probably just a rock.
You sure?
Could be boggy.
Hello.
Not hidden very well, is it?
Doesn't need to be. It's locked.
Alright.
It's a combination, sort of.
A combination lock arena. Rearrange the pieces of paper to find a combination for the padlock box. Hold on. I think that it has something to do with the colors, right? Like, see? Like, this shape only exists on the first two dials. Like, it can only exist on the first two. And then this shape. Oh, shit. It was the one with the round butt. And then this is also one with a round butt. So we have 1 and 4 to find. Yeah. I guess it's this. And then this? How do I check it?
Nothing.
Maybe if you move the paper around, you'll find a clue.
I think this is it. Unless it's this?
That's done it.
I thought I had found the one on the right already.
Neat. Anything in there?
Yeah, it's wrapped in a cloth. Hold on. Huh. That's kind of ominous.
A palette knife, or a garden trowel, I guess. A metal gardening trowel with decorative pattern. PPE for FF. Metal gardening trowel with decorative pattern. Okay. Let's go
It's
out
locked,
here.
but it leads outside.
I thought we were halfway up a tower.
We are.
What's that thing by the handle?
Slide the lid open, then move the tiles into the correct slots.
Nothing.
The
Still,
tiles.
Those moon symbols in the slots. Are they connected?
Maybe they're connected, but also not connected.
Oh, I think you might need to move these to places where they're not touching any moons.
Nope. It's
Maybe
not.
the information we need isn't here.
So where is it?
Somewhere else.
Yeah, that's probably right, but for example, like if you're trying to make it so none of them are touching moons, you would do something like this, right? But then this one would be diagonally touching. There's probably a
Let's come
rule
back
or a
once more.
pattern. Alright, let's leave. I think we made a little bit of progress. We got some clues. We got some things to ask people about.
What is that?
I think it's a family tree.
So, here's the problem. Here is the problem. Fritz Fellow is here, right? And he's the most similar in age to Penelope Pointer. So
Penelope
PP,
Pointer.
Half Pointer, half Brackley.
Do you think she still lives here?
PP could be the PP, or it could be Pandora, or it could be Percival, or it could be Poppy. It could be anybody. Oh, actually, this is the bottom row of the tree, and they're all similar age, I think, right? Like, maybe? Map time. Let's go to Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo. Catch a tiger by the toe. When it's done, let it go. Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo. Old dude with a top knot.
Sir? Can you hear me? I'm Private Detective Grimoire. I have some questions for you.
Grimoire. Good mysterious name. I'd rather like it. Felix Fellow at your beck and call.
And, this is my colleague, Sally.
Yeah, that's a perfectly good name as well.
Thanks.
If you would, Mr. Fellow, we really need to ask you about the murder.
Well, I must say I'm rather jealous of you two.
Oh yeah? Why's that?
Out here solving mysteries, exploring new places, uncovering secret rooms, hidden treasures. That's what life is all about.
Secret rooms?
Generally speaking, you know, that sort of thing.
Let's ask him about himself.
So, Felix, what exactly do you, do?
Is it not obvious?
He's a sculptor.
I'm an explorer.
What?
Explorer slash treasure
Oh.
hunter. Yes, well, best in the world.
We're talking like curse statues, spike pits.
It's a little more sophisticated than that. But I've certainly seen my share of danger, if that's what you're asking.
And, if I may ask, when did you retire?
You listen here. I may be between ventures right now, but it's simply not in my nature to stay in one place for too long. I go wherever the winds of destiny take me.
Don't you live here with your wife and daughter?
Yes, well, the Fellow family has certain loyalties, and with Flora the way she is...
Nothing wrong with raising a family, Mr. Fellow.
Don't misunderstand me. Fiona and Flora are my entire world. They are the greatest treasure of all.
Uh-huh.
You're in an episode of Home Movies. Kimrix, that reference is very dated. It's very dated. Is it because of the wiggly outlines? Yep, it probably is, right? Do you think they used that Blender plugin to do it? There's a plugin in Blender that does this like wiggly line thing. There's no way that they drew the lines twice, but that's like the look they're trying to achieve, right? When you do 2 line arts of the same still frame to get some variation.
Why on earth would you want to know about that?
The murder of Freya Fellow.
Dr. Katz?
The reason
I don't know what
we're
Dr.
here.
Katz is.
Ah, right.
I don't know what that
Nasty
is.
business, very unfortunate. I regret that I can't be of any help, but I wish you all the best in your investigation.
Hear that, Grimoire?
They're not telling us
Down
anything.
here. Let's go.
It's a simple question, Felix. I'm sure you're up to it.
Well, there's not much to tell. Mostly, I was in my room by myself, working on Flora's, working on a project.
Your room is quite close to Flora's tower. You didn't hear anything unusual?
What qualifies as unusual?
What have you got?
Oh?
It was dusk. A feeling lingered in the air. Malevolent, perhaps. Uncertain as life itself.
Abridged version, please.
Right. Fine. I heard someone heading down the stairs.
Okay.
Just outside my room. The footsteps were calm, orderly, so I thought nothing of it. Shortly afterward, I heard a second set of footsteps, going the same way. This time I could tell just from the sound that something was wrong. So I looked out into the hallway. I got a glimpse of Poppy disappearing down the staircase to the floor below. Didn't know what to make of it, to be honest. I thought perhaps she'd had a disagreement with Fitz, as I know those two are close. So I looked into his room, just in case, but it was empty, as was the garden beyond his window.
The garden beyond his window.
I bumped into a very concerned-looking Penelope. She was heading up Fellow Tower to find Professor Pointer, so I escorted her. We went into Flora's room. Poor Freya was laying on the floor. Fiona, Poppy, Fitz, and Pointer were there already. Flora, too, of course.
But he said Poppy went
Soon
away from the
enough,
tower.
Everyone else made their excuses and left.
Including you?
Not I. I stayed. Flora needed me.
He said Flora went away from the tower, and then when he said they returned from Fitz's garden on his balcony, said Poppy was there. Or Penny. Oh god, this is gonna get confusing. They're all called like FF names or PP names. PP. Right, let's ask him. I don't want to ask him too much because I feel like we're still exploring. Let's ask him about the portrait, and then I think that's it.
It would have been a beautiful painting. It's rather a shame Freya was unable to finish it.
Nothing about it seems strange to you.
Well, all these modern paintings are slightly strange, aren't they? The emotion of the piece taking over from, say, anatomical accuracy.
What about the knife in Flora's hand?
A knife? That's what you see?
You don't?
A feather?
Well, as I was saying, Freya's artistic approach distorts certain shapes. Hard to say exactly what we're looking at.
I feel like it looks like it could maybe be a broken mirror, right? Like, alright, what we're gonna do is we're gonna leave this room and we're gonna go back and get a statement. Yeah, let's get a statement from, is this Freya? This is Freya, right? Oh god.
Flora, you were definitely
Flora.
in the room at
Shit.
the time of the murder. Surely you must have seen something? Can you tell me anything about what happened to Freya? she's acting pretty suspicious if you ask me.
I don't know. Maybe she really doesn't know anything.
How is that possible?
She was in the room. I don't think it's possible. She was in the room. Let's ask about Hawkshaw.
We spoke to Hawkshaw.
Doesn't
I
phase
assume
her.
she didn't get anything out of you either. I bet that really ticked her off.
I kind of thought that Hawkshaw was hired by Flora. I kind of thought that Hawkshaw was hired by her and like, So this garden being directly below this turret would be someplace that a murder weapon could fall. So maybe it's that. It's hard to say. It's very hard to say. It's hard to work out like what is actually going on. Let's go. Hold on, I want to check something. I wish I could take the family tree with me.
What is
I think it's a family tree.
What is
I think it's a family.
So Felix and Flint are brothers. And then Felix had... Felix only has Fiona as a daughter. But then Felix's niece is Felicia. So it's like his second niece? I don't know. It's not important, but I just wanted to get a bit of a connection between the two. Let's just visit all the rooms. Left to right, as usual. Freya's room. So Freya's room's full of paintings. More speculative geography stuff as well.
Do you think this was always supposed to be a bedroom?
I don't know. It is kind of a weird shape.
No windows either. Not the kind of lamp I choose for my bedroom, but fair enough.
It's cool. Looks like old mining equipment or something.
It's a little glass box.
I think it's a vivarium.
Come again?
See the leaves and twigs in there? Might have been for keeping insects.
A pillow with a paw print pattern.
It's a cushion.
Yeah, but that doesn't alliterate.
Wow.
It's Freya's bed. A little bit messy.
It's a perfectly healthy amount of messy.
Wow. Sally getting defensive.
Freya's plants. They must not need sunlight? Freya's plants. They must not need... It's a little wooden box for paintbrushes.
To the casual observer, maybe.
Puzzle.
They're not real paintbrushes. Looks like they're part of some kind of lock mechanism.
Okay. So we can move these around. And I'm guessing it's like the teeth on a key. It's not as simple as... Hold on. No. Alright. Let's have a look at this. I would say line up the corner pieces first, but it doesn't look like that's a thing. This is definitely top right. And then... Huh? Maybe it's not top right. Yes. Yes. Okay. So we got smallest to biggest, and then we have orange, green. Huh. So the third one is a fan type brush, and then the fourth one is a slopey brush, and biggest is at the end, smallest is at the front. But this says fan type brush in pink. Oh, this is the handle color. So green or orange, and then this one's pink. I think this is it. Is this it already?
That's done it.
Neat. What was in the box?
Just a photograph. Well, most of a photograph.
Ripped photo. A photograph of two young girls, one with red hair, the other with green hair. The photo has a large piece missing. It seems to have been ripped off. Looks like another girl because it's like tights, a belt, and a miniskirt with a sweater. Okay.
That painting is really something.
Why would you want it looming over your bed like that?
Maybe Freya enjoyed the atmosphere it creates.
The atmosphere of chaos and oppression?
Hang on. There's a smaller version down by the floor.
It's a photograph.
Look at this photograph. Every time I do it makes me laugh. Piece of adhesive tape is stuck on him. Lines have been drawn with black ink around the edges.
It's a fish, I think?
There's no fish in the water here.
I think it looks more like a whale.
Fine, it's a whale.
Could also be a shark. Freya's bear.
Looks pretty depressed.
He's had a rough couple of days.
Poor bear.
Just little trinkets.
Let's leave them alone.
Just little trinkets.
Let's leave them alone.
Do you think this was always supposed to be a bed?
I don't know.
No windows either.
Um,
Drawings taped up on the wall.
What's that one on the left?
Looks like two people standing together in a garden. One of them's holding a red rose.
Oh, it's Poppy and Fitz. Drawing of a man standing with a woman in a garden. He's holding a red rose. A drawing of a young woman. And drawing of Detective Hawkshaw. Why would Freya have a image of Detective Hawkshaw? Detective Hawkshaw showed up after Freya's death, so they would never have met each other.
Do you think this was
I don't
no
know.
windows either? Did Freya paint those animals on her ceiling?
They're kind of simplistic.
Maybe she painted them when she was younger. Brushes, pencils.
They're clean, but they look pretty well used.
Okay. Let's get out of here. Let's go to... You know what? I want to quickly ask Hawkshaw why Freya has a painting of Hawkshaw.
Freya Fellow is of great interest to me. I perceived her to be the most intelligent individual here at Tangle Tower. Within a day, she had identified for whom I was working and for what I was searching. I didn't know how she did it. I was impressed. I regret that I did not question her more thoroughly when I had the opportunity.
You couldn't have known she was about to be killed, though.
I have only myself to blame for failing to perceive the signs.
So Hawkshaw was here for
I
something
do
else.
not wish to do your job for you, Detective. It's not in my interest to discuss personal details.
Even if you're one of the suspects in a murder?
Very well. Let us make a small exception. Ask.
Oh, what are you doing here?
I'm on a case at the behest of my client.
How long have you been at Tangle Tower?
133 hours. 5.5 days.
Who are you working for?
I am not at liberty to answer that.
Is it weird that in my head, when she said the amount of hours, I tried to work it out, like, immediately? Like, I immediately tried to do the math.
Now, I shall
Oh
permit
my
you
god.
one more question.
What crime are you...
How'd you get that scar? It's cool.
What the
You
fuck?
really think so?
Wasting the question?
As it happens, I completed an examination of Flora's room on the morning before the murder. I've been investigating every single room at Tangle Tower. Hers is one of the last on my list.
Did you find anything unusual?
Nothing but a thin layer of dust and an atmosphere of somber melancholy.
Was Flora in there at the time?
She spent the duration of my search staring up at the sky, out the open window. Didn't say a word, although I'm told this is
So-
the expected behavior.
Flora does the
What
exact
did you
same
do
thing
after
with
that?
us.
I spent the early evening searching the library. It took longer than it should have. Fiona leaves that room in a permanent state of disarray.
Fiona was in the library too?
I expected her to make an appearance, but she did not.
And you stayed in the library the rest of the day?
Not quite. Towards the early evening, my examination of the library was unexpectedly disrupted. Sounds of running, wailing, shouting from several floors above. I vacated the library, but before I could begin my ascent, Professor Pointer appeared. He emerged from the Pointer staircase, crossed the hall, and begun up the fellow staircase. Our eyes met. He was breathless. Something had caused him great alarm. He told me to stay out of the way. I consented. I decided to return to my office in the stone square. As I was passing through the front door, Penelope called out from behind me. She was clutching the banister of the Pointer staircase.
Does she have a duck on her head?
In a pensive manner. She wished to know where Professor Pointer had gone. I told her what had transpired. Then, she too crossed the hall and disappeared up the fellow staircase. More so than at any moment prior, I felt like quite an intruder in the house. I took my leave, out towards the stone square. The grounds were silent. There were no signs of human life.
Did
Even
Fitz
the
pass
greenhouse
her?
was without its typical inhabitant.
So how did
But
Fitz...
he, too, must be entangled in whatever was transpiring
Hold
in
on.
the tower. An unremarkable hour passed before the gardener finally made his appearance. He spoke to me of what had occurred. His report was as clumsy and cumbersome as the man giving it.
Did he seem upset?
He was rattled. That much was clear. But sorrowful, mournful, I cannot say.
She didn't mention Penelope or Fitz crossing by in the hallway to go upstairs, which means they had to already be in the left side tower, or they were already in the room. Let's ask her about Fitz.
I'll say this, he's well suited to physical labor.
That's a nice way to put it.
Fitz spends most of his time alone in the greenhouse, but I heard he's been breeding experimental flowers in secret.
Whoa, scandal.
I just wonder if he's getting restless.
Let's ask about Freya's drawings. That's why I came here.
When did Freya draw the picture of you, Hawkshaw?
I didn't model for her, if that's what you're asking. She must have done it without my permission.
Could just be from memory. It's not quite as detailed as the others anyway.
What are the other rooms in the left side tower? We've got this lower room before the staircase. I'm just trying to think, like, where could Penelope and Fitz have been in this tower? We know they weren't in this room with Felix. We know they weren't in Freya's room, or at least we assume they weren't. They could have been in the garden, since Fitz and Penelope do look like they're dating. And the only other room they could have been in is this locked one.
Locked.
Alright. Is this Fifi?
Curious. I would expect bacteria of that nature to thrive in these conditions.
Dexter's lab.
Taking all the environmental factors
It's
into
Dexter,
account,
dude.
there must be something I am still missing.
May I talk to you, miss?
She knows we're here. She just doesn't care.
I am a detective, and I need to talk to you.
I am a surgeon. I hate the I am a surgeon meme, but his delivery on I am a detective is so close to the I am a surgeon meme. I don't even know what this show is called. It's like a hospital show, and one of the surgeons is autistic or has like Asperger's. And there's a scene where he has a breakdown where he says, I am a surgeon, I am a surgeon. And it became a meme on TikTok.
Correction. You do not need to talk to me.
Oh no? How come?
Because I am not a suspect. I am completely innocent of any and all crimes.
Thanks for letting me know.
Speaking of which, you have now been at Tangle Tower for over 23 minutes. Surely you have already reached a sturdy hypothesis.
I've been here for an hour and 50 minutes.
About the murder?
Yeah, come on, Grimoire, hurry up.
My apologies. Unfortunately, protocol dictates I must at least meet all the suspects. And that includes you. So, could you tell me your name?
Fifi Fellow, microbiologist, inventor, innovator. You will need to be more specific. Oneself cannot be summarized in a single response without doing one a great disservice.
So true.
Well, first of all, you're a fellow. So does that make you the daughter of...
Correct. My father and mother are named Flora and Felix, but you need not question either of them. It will only waste valuable time. Neither of them are capable of murder.
Thanks for the tip.
Fifi, you said you were a micro... something or other?
Hold on. Flora and Felix are Fifi's parents, right? She doesn't seem like she's related to any of them. Like, Flora's this stoic old woman with grey hair, and Felix is like this green-haired top-knot explorer dude.
Microbiologist, but it is an insignificant label. My studies cannot be categorized in any one recognized field.
What made you want to become a scientist in the first place?
I harbor an intrinsic fascination with the microscopic. I constructed my first one at age 10.
Constructed a microscope?
Correct.
And what's that thing on your head? Did you make that too?
My eyesight began to deteriorate when I turned 12. Not satisfied with the eyeglasses prescribed to me, I designed this custom lens instead. It automatically adjusts based on the surrounding light conditions.
Does it glow red when you get angry?
No, but that would be most amusing. What can you tell me about the murder?
What can you tell me about... Wait, that's what I'm supposed to ask you.
Yes, however, you were too slow.
You fancy yourself a detective too, Fifi?
I just need to know what happened.
Me too. So talk.
Fine. I knew ahead of time that Freya was going to be busy with her painting all day, so I had planned to spend the afternoon with Poppy. I was in the library all morning preparing the equipment for an experiment, only to find out that Poppy had made other plans and she was in fact planning to ignore me completely.
Oh.
So what did you do instead?
I locked myself in my room and cried.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Why?
I don't know, it just sounds kind of sad.
It is not unusual.
Oh. Good.
I was in my room. The lights were off and the door was locked. Someone began banging on the door. I ignored it until the someone began shouting at me. I opened the door. Poppy came into my room. Her makeup was leaking. She told me Freya was dead. I did not believe it.
So, this has to be after the people were walking past the room. So why did Fifi not realize
I thought she
that?
was playing a trick on me, so I punched her in the face. She insisted that we go up to Flora's tower. We left the room, and Poppy's father was waiting outside. He followed us upstairs. When I saw Freya lying on the floor, I was completely and utterly devastated. Then, I took a sample of the red paint on the unfinished painting. Poppy and I took the sample back downstairs to the library. We performed a test and found out that it was, in fact, blood.
You performed that scientific test immediately, even though you were feeling so upset?
Of course. Why would one affect the other?
Okay. It's weird that Poppy and Fifi performed that test, but I guess maybe it's just like one of these things, right? Like it's just a game thing. It's weird though. It's also weird that they fought to test the red paint and they didn't mention testing the others.
The
Also,
red paint on the brush is not paint. It is blood.
Ah, I wanted her to test this for me because, alright, the red paint on the brush doesn't really look the same color as the red paint in the photo, in the painting. But that makes sense because the painting has blood, but I guess this is blood as well.
Same for the palette.
So Freya added the blood to the painting herself?
Or blood got on the brush and palette some other way?
Nah. That looks
Do
intentional.
not know the answer.
That looks very intentional.
This photograph is my favorite photograph.
So, why'd you rip it in half?
That was not me. Besides, it was not a half that was ripped off. It was only a third.
Who was in the other part?
There is a drawing of me, a drawing of Detective Hawkshaw, and a drawing of Poppy and Fitz.
That was a weird reaction.
Freya is normally highly skilled at capturing someone's likeness, but in this painting, she has accidentally made Flora look quite young.
I think she was just being kind.
Why is that kind? Anyway, I'm far more interested in what Flora is holding. I performed the test on the red paint myself. I discovered that it was in fact not paint, but blood.
What made you want to test it in the first place?
It was Poppy. She told me she thought the painting looked like a bloody knife. I told her not to be ridiculous. My mother owns no such knife. But then I noticed that the color was slightly too dark, and the substance itself was overly viscous.
You noticed that just from looking at it once?
Of course.
Her eyeball. She has like her magic eyeball, right? Of course she noticed that. She gets a +5 to perception for having a weird
Phoebe's
goggle.
bedroom should be unlocked now.
Can't wait.
I want to go later. I want to look at this room first. There's probably some cool shit.
A book? On the floor. Fundamental Entomology.
I guess somebody dropped it.
Books about insects.
Well, theoretically. There's not a single book on that shelf.
Huh.
All the insect books are gone, and there was an insect in the garden that was like suspicious.
Books about birds.
The shelves are about half empty.
Oh, so you're a the shelves are half empty kind of person.
You knew this already.
Did you know that an optimist says the glass is half full, but a pessimist says, a glass full of piss?
Is that a snow globe?
It's a great joke.
Of sorts.
Ooh, it's a mini Tangle Tower.
Hey, look at that. It's a model of Tangle Tower. There's a lake and those weird mountains. What are you thinking?
That would make an amazing souvenir.
Can I take it?
Hey, it's a model. What do you
That
think?
would make an amazing... what's in those bottles?
I'm not sure. Soil samples?
Sure, why not build a science lab in the corner of the library?
The search for new knowledge. The archiving of old knowledge. It's downright poetic.
A chalkboard?
Is this a library or a classroom?
Why is Sally's voice so flirty? You know? Okay.
Any idea what this means?
Not a clue.
I don't have any puzzles right now that have letters, like that need letters. So, I guess this is unimportant to us. It looks like the stuff on the left is all nonsense. It's just the right side that matters. But I don't have anything that needs this. Ordinarily I would write this
I'm
down.
not sure I learned anything from that.
Ordinarily I would write that shit down, but I think we're just gonna leave it. I'll have to come back to it when I do
It's an
need it.
illustrated book about birds.
It's been left open. Looks like somebody was halfway through reading it.
Or it was left open for us to find.
Ever so slightly unnerving.
Got a peacock. The ink dip is a remarkably intelligent bird with a very long lifespan, even among avian mystids. Other birds are often aggressive towards it, and the ink dip lives most of its life alone. It has particular feeding habits and usually only eats the seeds of Tantum amica, which is the free-stemmed thing. And there's the bird's feather. So in the painting, it's not a knife. It is a feather. I guessed that this was like my first guess. Oh my god. Okay, okay.
Books about ancient history?
These books are ancient history. I think they'd crumble into dust if I tried to pick them up.
Good excuse.
Thanks. Books about space.
They're relatively untouched. Sure, why not build a...
The art's downright poetic.
Okie dokie. We can go to Fifi's room now. Which would be... I'm guessing it's this one, right? Oh, it's this one. Because she's an F. There's F's and P's. She's an F. Fifi's bear.
A new suspect! Don't think you can get out being questioned just because you're a bear.
I see a bare-faced liar.
I'm innocent, I promise.
Save it for the judge.
Wow.
I don't know what that drink is, but I bet it's 99% sugar.
Do you think this game has like real Glass Onion vibes? It has like real Knives Out vibes. It's like the Detective Grimoire and Sally don't really care. Like it's like they're on vacation and there's a bunch of rich people that don't really care about the murder. Nobody's reacting or crying.
I'd read you the ingredients, but there's nothing written on the can.
That's even worse. I don't know what that drink is, but I bet that's even worse.
What's that big book on the desk?
Looks like something Fifi's been writing.
Is it a clue?
I hope not. It's just a bunch of notes about her microbiology experiments.
It's a magnifying glass. A big one.
How come you don't have one of those?
Why? Because I'm a detective? Should I start smoking a pipe too?
You couldn't pull off a pipe. Homemade posters. This one's about the Pythagoras theorem.
I've not heard of that band. Are they any good?
Pythagoras? Isn't it just Pythagoras?
Homemade posters. This one's about the Pythagoras theorem.
Do Americans say Pythagoras instead of Pythagoras? We're Googling this.
Pythagoras.
No. British pronunciation, right? American.
Pythagoras.
Americans say Pythagoras as well.
Pythagoras.
Yeah, nobody says Pythagoras. The fuck? Okay.
I've not heard of that band. It looks like a microscope.
Can I touch it?
Let's have a look at this microscope.
I'm not sure this is a microscope.
Horizontally slide the 4 magnifying lenses to the correct positions. We're trying to make the key bigger, right? Yeah, I think we're trying to make the key the whole like, you know what I'm trying to say. We're trying to make it like a whole key, like the right size. Like that's too big. That looks good. And then hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. It's doing anything for you? Oh my god. They have on them what they are, like plus and minus, but I feel like I'm fucking goofing this up. That looks like the closest match. Plus plus. If we go for just 1 plus, it's not enough to bring that up, right? And then the triple plus is like way not enough, so it has to just be the plus. Or the plus plus, sorry, plus plus. I'd say that's right. And then we got the minus. Which part of this would we need to make small? It's clearly this end part needs to be made small. And then we got the double plus, which I would say goes on this. And then this would be the plus.
I guess that's
The
wrong.
4 lenses all have so they must each have a specific.
Yeah. The last one has to be minus. That looks good. That looks good.
Nope.
You need to match. Looks like you might need to overlap.
Oh, I might need to overlap some of the lenses. Alright, I'm so hell-bent on this first one being plus plus though. It's the closest match. Triple plus is just like so big. Unless... Oh, this looks close. Oh, this looks close. Oh, this looks very close. Do we think this is it? Are we going for this?
No, that was it.
Nice work.
Oh, baby! Children's puzzles!
Sounds like it unlocked.
Yeah, it's built on top of a little metal box.
What age do you think that puzzle would be, like, appropriate for? Because my nephew's nearly 7, and there's no way he would get that. Like, he would need a lot of prompting to get that. I'm asking about, like, what age on his own, and I'm thinking, like... 10. Like, at least 10. I mean, I'm 33, right? That was pretty easy for me.
There's a book in here.
But still, I struggled. A well-used book resembling a diary, it is locked with a strange metal device. It looks like on a safe. Alright, anyway, we got that.
What's that big book on the desk?
It's just a bunch of notes about it.
That's a whole lot of books. That's a whole lot of books. Fifi's got something pinned up here.
What is all this?
Ooh. It's people who are in love with each other. It's people that are in love, right? Maybe? Because this is a couple. This is husband and wife. This is also husband and wife. Flora and Felix. And then Fitz and Poppy. And then Hawkshaw and... That doesn't really make sense. And then neither does Fifi... Or, wait. That's not Fifi, that's Sally.
Arrows connecting all the different suspects.
They're not labeled, though.
Yeah, they're completely meaningless.
So there's some type of connection between Hawkshaw and...
Who's that?
Not sure. It's Detective Hawkshaw.
And that's you, Sally.
What? I do not look like that, do I?
You do.
Is that supposed to be me? Why do I look so angry?
That's just the face you make when you're thinking. Does make you wonder, though. When did Fifi draw all this? Who is that?
No idea.
So, because we don't know these two suspects, I think we're not getting some dialogue here.
Looks like Fitz.
Maybe. Did you ever try that?
That's gotta be Flora.
Who is that?
No idea. Is Fifi trying to solve the mystery with math equations?
Maybe. Did you ever try that? Maybe it works.
Yeah, that's the only thing I can think is that, like, it's somehow partners. So, like, Sally and Grimoire. But then this person's the only person that has 2 arrows going towards them.
Did you
I forgot
notice
his name.
isn't on here?
Freya?
Mm-hmm. And Fifi herself.
I guess because Freya and Fifi aren't suspects.
Crystal chandeliers. Extra fancy.
I don't know. They just seem old-fashioned to me. Plus, they're kind of dusty.
Alright, I think we got enough out of this room.
Boxes of stuff.
I think we got quite a lot out of this room. Sadly, we couldn't take that big poster with us as evidence to ask Fifi about it in person, but we have enough. Let's go to the top of this tower. Jesus Christ, is he twerking? Tina Belcher?
Shh, listen. Do you hear them? The stars. They're whispering. So quiet, and yet so loud.
What are they whispering about? Are they spreading rumors about us?
I shouldn't think they concern themselves with such insignificance. We are but specks of dust, you and I.
Mm-hmm. Could this speck of dust start by telling me his name?
You find yourself standing in the astronomy tower of one Professor Percival Pointer.
Seems like this tower belongs to the Pointers, and the other one belongs to the Fellows.
Well observed, my dear. Tangle Tower is something of a duality, as it happens. Meaningless boundaries, really. They exist only in our minds.
Helpful.
Me? Not much to say. Strictly speaking, I'm the current head of the Pointer family. And of course, father to my precious Poppy.
And a professional astronomer?
Oh no, that's just a little hobby. I mean, yes, I've studied the stars for over 35 years, published 17 books.
Just a little hobby.
Sounds like you're quite well known. You must bring in a good amount of money.
Oh dear me, no. My field of research has never yielded any kind of stable financial return. Nor would I expect it to. I am nothing but a humble interpreter for the cosmos, working to translate its message so that I may share it with the world.
Cool. Tell the Cosmos I say hi.
I can't tell if Sally's the type of person that would actually, like, believe in astronomy. Or astrology, not astronomy. Or not. Like, she's so dismissive when she talks, it's difficult to tell. We've almost met everybody. There's only 2 more spaces. I'm not saying that this page can't scroll, but it feels like, you know, 4 lines by 2, 4, 6, 8. 4 lines by 8, and then 3 by 3 grid.
The day began as any other,
Alright,
with
let's keep asking
blissful,
questions.
unremarkable routine. I took my usual morning walk around the gardens. Fresh air does wonders for the mind.
Did you see anyone else?
Penelope and Fitz were in the greenhouse together. I didn't bother them, of course. I sat for a while besides the pond in the garden. It's a favorite spot of mine. Eventually, I returned to my tower and buried myself in my studies for the afternoon.
Did you use your telescope yesterday?
Once the stars began to appear, naturally.
For how long?
I can't say. I've been known to lose hours at my telescope.
We have a puzzle in the garden that I still haven't solved yet, but he like mentioned obviously sitting. Did he say sitting at the pond? I forgot what he said.
Did you see anything?
His hand
No
movements
actual
were distracting.
discoveries, if that's what you mean.
So you were all alone up in the astronomy tower. Must have been a while before you found out what had happened to Freya.
No, it wasn't, because he was one of the first people to go. He went before his wife went.
Quite. Normally, I would be the last to find out about such a thing. But a curious tug of fate led me towards the fellow tower later that evening.
The bird.
I was at my telescope for the majority of the evening, but at one point I returned to my desk to look something up in a reference book. I couldn't find the book I wanted, so I figured Fiona must have borrowed it. I left my tower and headed down towards the Grand Hall. I spotted Detective Hawkshaw coming out of the library. She looked impatient and slightly frustrated.
Same as ever then?
Quite. I passed her by and went upstairs to Fiona's room. The door was locked, but I could hear shouting coming from inside. I recognized Fiona's voice as well as the voice of my own daughter. I had no desire to invade their privacy by eavesdropping, so I waited for them to finish and come out into the hall. Before I could ask about the book, Poppy grabbed my hand and took me upstairs along with Fiona. It was apparent that both of them had already been crying about something. We went up to Flora's tower. Freya was laying on her back, right in the middle of the room.
Hold up. Inconsistency. Freya was laying on her back. We got told initially, I think even in the crime report, which we don't know the source of the crime report, I guess, that she was laying on her front.
Flora and Fitz were already there. They both looked stoic as ever.
No?
Felix and Penny arrived
Maybe
shortly
no.
after we did.
Penny's the one with the duck on her head. Right. I'm writing this down. I keep getting Penny and Poppy mixed up.
And then Fiona went downstairs with Poppy for some reason. I quickly decided that I should leave also. I took Penelope with me, and we both went back to our rooms in Pointer Tower.
Why did you leave so quickly? Wasn't there anything you could have done to help?
Don't take this the wrong way, but the whole ordeal is fellow family business. I'm quite sure they don't need me getting in the way at a time like that.
Interesting statement.
Not exactly a wealth of information, is it?
It's enough.
Let's ask him about the bird.
That's a very old book, isn't it? Looks like someone could have taken better care of it.
I like the look of a well-read book, better than one that's never been opened.
Ah, well put. Freya was well acquainted with the abstract, I'll say that much.
What does it look like to you?
To me, it's a big, red thing.
What a fascinating interpretation.
This game.
It is a big red thing.
It is. It looks like a rock with like cliffs around, or like rocks floating around it.
These were drawn by Freya. She must have drawn that one of Hawkshaw rather recently.
I guess.
A very old statue indeed. I'd recommend you leave it well alone.
It's
The
him.
poor
He knows
fellow's in
something
bad
about it.
enough shape as it is.
He did say like he goes to his favorite part in the pond, right? He has some secret out there, which means he might know about this tape that was in the pond.
Isn't the process of decay fascinating?
It's not really decaying. It's plastic.
It's becoming one with nature, all the same.
I don't know. Like, I feel like if I ask him everything, it's like making the game easy for me. I'm gonna explore his room a bit.
There's something kinda disappointing about this room. I just expected a bit more from an astronomy tower.
Oh, does it not compare to all the other astronomy towers you've been to? Yeah, it's too cloudy to see any stars right now.
It's also daytime.
Can I ask him about why he's looking at the sun
You know,
during the day?
I've always wanted one of those.
A mechanical solar system? What would you do?
It's called
with
an
it?
astrolabe, right? Or something like that. I know that because of Elden Ring, but I might be wrong. I think an astrolabe is the thing with the big, like, with a center that other things rotate around.
I would look at it.
I'm googling it. Astrolabe. Oh no, it's not. Looks like a sundial. You use it to measure the height of stars? Huh.
Wait a minute. Earth in the middle, sun on the outside. How old is this thing?
Oh, we're trying to make shadows, I guess? What are we trying to do here? An eclipse? This might not be solvable until we've done something else. It could be that we have to line it up so that none of the shadows touch each other. I think we can solve it now. Yeah. That's it.
That's the one.
Hey, not bad.
Puzzles.
Did you hear that?
There's a little hatch underneath. What's in there?
A bunch of paper. Looks like somebody's research.
I knew the Beatles were important, not the band. Number 4, and it says gold. 4 gold. 4. A golden beetle, named for its exoskeleton, composed of mineral approximately 90% identical to gold, has a lifespan of several years. It fends off predators with a loud hiss. Records of over 95 decibels. Records of over? Neither of those make sense. Records of over 95 decibels isn't a full sentence. By being completely undigestible, this mistid has a somewhat spurious reputation for causing ill fortune to those that see it. It used the term mistid before in another clue. Right? It has a particular feeding habit, usually only eats seeds of the Tantum amica. The ink dip is a remarkably intelligent bird with a very long lifespan even among avian mistids. Is mistids like fake animals?
It's tidier than my desk.
We're googling it. Mistids is something made up only in Detective Grimoire. I guess Boggy was a mistid.
The notebook is untouched. It's
So, even the most well-used notebooks start off blank.
True.
It's full of tea, but it's gone cold.
Criminal.
Wow.
Trinkets.
They're clearly gizmos.
Yeah, they're who's its and what's its.
It's a chart of the solar system. Which planet are you from, Sally?
Oh god. She doesn't even need to say anything. She's just made out of sass. Oh my god.
There's something kinda...
Does it not compare?
Pretty. Pretty.
Okay. That's it. Let's go to one of the rooms we haven't been to. You know what I should also do? Does she have bird arms? I also should check how do you save the game. Autosave is on. Right, good. Because I haven't seen a save button. Let's talk to the bird lady. This is Penny.
Oh, just beautiful. What is it?
Huh?
Sort of a delicate jade, but with a little seafoam green, is that right?
Her hair?
Sorry?
Your hair, dear! Which shade do you use? It's lovely! And that shape, you're really pushing the envelope.
Oh, thanks. I do what I can to offset Grimoire's beige on brown ensemble.
Detectives don't need to be brightly colored. We prefer to blend into the background.
Oh, you're the detective? Delightful. Penny Pointer, pleasure.
Is that short for Penelope?
Officially, yes, but I never can be bothered with all 4 syllables of it.
Here's the thing. I think the reason I'm having trouble with the names is because Penny's name has been Penelope when other people have said it, and then Fiona's name's been Fifi when other people have said it. And every one of the pointers is obviously like PP names.
Penelope sounds a little ostentatious coming out of the mouth.
It's just that.
Sure. Yeah.
20-something, Aquarius, love to travel, and nearly all of my friends are birds.
Travel? Where to?
Anywhere at all, as long as it has species worth studying. Ornithology, they call it. I call it the only thing I've ever been good at.
And have you studied the birds here at Tangle Tower?
But of course! Where else do you think I developed my love of the field? No matter where I go, I always find myself coming home to Tangle Tower.
Because of the birds.
Oh, no, because of him! Silly to admit, but I suppose I can't bear for us to be apart.
Who are you talking about?
Oh, don't you know? My fiancé, dear Fitz. He's not really the traveling type, you see.
What? Fitz and Penny? Writing this down.
Fitz fellow.
The very one.
So, PF and FF could be Penny Fellow and Fitz Fellow, and she could be writing the F surname before it's actually her surname. Or wait, no. It was FP and PP. Wait, I'm fucking
You're
confused.
engaged to a member of the Fellow family? That's interesting.
I'm not especially interested in whatever tedious feuding goes on between our two families. Fitz and I find it much easier to stay out of it altogether.
Hold on. Hold that thought.
We can get into Penny's room now.
Now, like, right now?
Yeah, we're leaving. We're going to look at the family tree again.
What is...
I think it's a family tree.
So, everybody on the left side is FF, right? Or BB, SS, DD, RR. However, FP can only be... There isn't an FP. Hold that thought.
Ah, there's a heart. I didn't know people...
PPFF.
Oh, no. It's... Huh? Oh yeah, it's FFPP. FFPP. But she reads it wrong.
There's a heart.
PPFF.
She says PPFF, but it's FFPP. That's maybe why I was getting confused. PP... FFPP.
Don't think it's law.
No, that means...
I'm pretty sure that's the rule, yeah.
Right, FF and PP.
What is...
I think it's a family tree.
So we'd think it's going to be Fitzfellow and Penelope Pointer. Right? We'd think that's what it's going to be. But what if it's Freya Fellow? Is there a PP that's a man? There isn't. No. Not saying that people can't be gay. Just saying it's a little bit less likely, right? I don't think it's Freya Fellow and Penelope Pointer when Penelope sounds so hell-bent on Fitz. But it's interesting that Poppy... What's the relationship between Penelope and Poppy? It looks like they're parents' siblings, so they're cousins. These two are cousins. Also,
I think it's a...
there's the bird with the ink dip on the side. There's also a crab and an iguana.
Pretty. Percival Pointer.
Professor Percival Pointer. We met him. He's one of the suspects.
Pandora Pointer.
All this alliteration isn't happening by
Do
accident.
you think she still lives here?
So who did Percival have children to? Primrose Remington.
Primrose Remington.
I always liked the name Primrose.
Do you think she still lives here?
Poppy Pointer.
She's half Remington and half Pointer.
Do you think she still lives here? Penelope Pointer. You met her. She is one of the suspects.
Fiona Fellow. We met her. She's one of the suspects.
Keep coming back to this family tree. It probably has like no relevance. It's just there for like to make it easier if you're stuck. This is Penelope's bedroom, right? No, it's not. We're leaving. That's Poppy, but we're leaving. We're going into Penelope's bedroom first. Okay, we got dress heads, hat stand things.
You're being watched.
The mannequins don't have eyes, though.
That's not a comforting sentence. That's a big window. Looks like nature invited itself in. Rude.
You know, the birds can easily get in and out of those cages.
Well, if that's true, can they even be considered cages?
This flower actually looks like Penny. It actually looks like her.
That's some flower.
There's something weird about it. It just feels out of place.
It looks exactly like Penny. It has like the red hair and the big arms. Brightly colored flower of an unusual shape. It looks very healthy and well looked after. The soil in the pot is fresh, moist, also is a blue color. This is a gift from Fitz to Penny. It has to be.
It's a birdhouse.
Are those real birds?
Okay, dokie.
They're wooden.
They're using up all the perches. What if a real bird wanted to use it?
Swap the positions of the 7 birds. Maybe it's a family tree. So whole eye open and eye fully closed gives you a half open eye, and then a whole eye open. Whole eye open in the center, whole eye closed gives you a half eye open in the center. Half eye open in the center, plus 1 looking to the right. No.
Nope.
There must be something to do with those white lines.
I would have thought that the white lines were something to do with like a family tree, like the family tree in the foyer, right? But maybe the birds all have to be looking at each other? Like that?
Nothing.
I think the birds are related to each other.
See, related to each other makes sense. So maybe one looking left, one looking right makes one looking center. And then one that's half closed makes a half, and one that's squinting makes a squint.
I got it.
Yeah, boy.
I'm impressed. Did the door open? What's in there?
Now I'll get her. Message is angrily scrawled into the paper. No, I'll get her. See? Voice acting skills. It has red petals. Not much of a clue, but obviously if we present that to somebody, it'll give us something.
Tea set. Looks recently used.
One of the cups has tea in it.
What's in the other one?
Birdseed.
Huh.
A little bedtime reading?
Let's see. Romance novels, detective novels, and
Porn?
What?
this one appears to be both.
Nice.
Nice.
Traveling cases.
Empty. All of them.
She does say that she travels a lot, though. Maybe she goes with empty traveling cases and catches birds.
That might be the most pointless staircase I've ever seen. That bed. It's like something from a fairy tale.
Does it feel warm over here? Or is it just me?
No, you're right. Maybe the bed has some kind of heater.
It's not coming from the bed. It's coming from the wall.
That bed.
Does it?
No,
It's
you're-
not coming from the bed.
This is
Too,
what
I
the-
know.
This is the fanciest room so far.
Too fancy.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Anything in there?
Bed sheets.
That's not even remotely suspicious.
Something hot coming from the wall? I guess there's 2 more rooms to find. Let's talk to the goth girl, Poppy. I guess we'll do some other shit in the room first, though.
Are they paper lanterns?
Whatever they are, I like them. It's like a little parade of floating spirits.
Are they paper lanterns?
This might sound really weird. There's a website called 11AI where you can use voice cloning. Let me see if I can log in. I'm logged in right now. You should be able to hear anything I type in it. There's a pre-made voice. Is it Bella?
Detective Grimoire.
Yeah, I think the Bella voice is actually cloned from Poppy's or from Sally's voice in this game.
Whatever they are, I
Is it
like
Sally?
a little parade of floating spirits.
All right, listen. Well, get her to say the line, then I'll copy it. Okay, listen.
Are they paper lanterns?
Whatever they are, I like them. It's like a little parade of floating spirits.
All right, keep that in your head. Listen to this.
Whatever they are, I like them. It's like a little parade of floating spirits.
Wait, not that one. Not that one.
Whatever they are, I like them. It's like a little parade of floating spirits.
Nope, it's not that one.
Whatever they are, I like them. It's like a little parade of floating spirits.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just flat out wrong. Her voice sounded a lot like one of the pre-mades on that website, 11AI. There's actually, like, one of the pre-mades is Ellie from The Last of Us. If I do this, like, this is literally Ellie from The Last of Us. Listen.
Whatever they are, I like them. It's like a little parade of floating spirits.
Hey Joel, look at this detective. His name is Grimoire, right? Listen.
Hey Joel, look at this detective. His name is Grimoire.
See? Literally Ellie from The Last of Us. It just made sense that they would, like, copy a voice actress's voice. And it sounded a lot like that one to me.
Are they paper lanterns?
Whatever's like a little parade of floating.
Are they paper lanterns?
Whatever they are, it's like a little parade of floating spirits.
Oh, whatever it is, it's playing a little trumpet.
Another animal playing a instrument.
Well, it is the music room. He's got to practice.
What's with all the broken glass?
Ooh. Horn statue. A shiny statue of a strange creature holding a large horn. It's boggy. There's a noticeable crack running along the length of the statue's horn. Inside the horn and on the ground below are various shards of broken glass.
Oh, whatever it is, it's
Well,
what's with all the broken glass?
Okay. Oh, we got a magnifying glass. I didn't even know that was there.
Who plays the violin, I wonder?
It's pretty dusty, so I'm guessing nobody.
There's a faded mural on the wall.
When I was a kid, I never knew the difference between a mural and a mosaic.
You still don't know, do you?
No.
The writing in this game is fucking top tier.
Sheet music. It's handwritten.
That's a lot of notes. Looks pretty difficult.
Probably why they're on the floor. 1 old wooden bookcase.
Yep.
25 dry old books.
Mm-hmm.
4 lit candles.
Yeah.
Am I the only one seeing the problem?
Yeah. It's kind of bad idea. There's nothing else in this room.
Smells like a forest in here.
There's literally nothing else in this room, right?
There's a faded mural.
When I was
You still don't know.
no.
Yeah, okay. Golf girl. She gonna talk?
Ghost.
Sally, that's rude.
She's not
Well,
gonna
she is a
talk.
ghost.
Shit.
It may come as a disappointment,
She does talk.
but I am alive.
Ah,
That makes you a suspect, I'm afraid.
I know.
what's your name?
My name is Poppy. I'm a pointer.
And a pianist.
We'll need to ask you a few questions about Freya.
I know.
Hey, you're pretty good.
All in the wrist. And 13 years of dedicated practice. I'm just me. There's nothing to know.
How are you related to the other Pointers?
My father is Percival Pointer. The professor spends most of his time hidden away in his tower. Barely speaks to anyone these days. Especially not the fellows.
Do you get on with the fellows?
2 of them. Fifi and Freya are my closest friends.
But she hasn't mentioned anything about Fitz.
We all turned 19 last year.
Do people ever leave Tangle Tower? I don't mean to be rude. It's just, if you're 19...
You don't have to answer that, Poppy.
It's a fair question. I'd like to move away. Definitely. Fifi, Freya, and I would often talk about it, argue about it. Freya wanted to leave, but Fifi... things are more complicated for her.
What about now?
After what happened, I really don't want to stay here much longer. 3.5 hours of piano practice, soon as I wake up. Same as always.
3.5? Does that not hurt your hands?
Sure.
And you do this in the music room?
No, I prefer to practice in my room. When I make mistakes, I like to make them in private.
What did you do after that?
I was supposed to meet Fifi in the library, but I totally forgot. When I finally got down there, she'd already gone. I checked her bedroom, but it was locked.
Was Fifi not in there?
No idea. She keeps her door locked either way. So I went back upstairs and out into the moonlight garden.
The what?
The little garden on the roof outside my room.
Was it just you up there?
Huh.
No. Fitz came outside after a while. His room's on the other side.
Yeah, they can
He's
see
been
across.
teaching me about flowers.
So, did you talk to him?
When we asked if she gets along with the fellows, she said 2 of them. Fifi and Freya. But she didn't say she gets along with Fitz. But then she does say that their balconies touch and he's been teaching her about flowers.
Not really.
You ignored each other.
I didn't say that. Fitz and I were up in the moonlight garden most of the afternoon.
Oh, it connects.
I heard this sound. Lasted about 3 seconds. I've been trying to decide how to describe it, but I'm struggling. It was like something drilling into a piece of metal, but different. Worse. I was pretty sure it was coming from Flora's tower, so we went up there to check. Her door was locked. Nobody was answering. I knew Freya and Flora were both supposed to be in there, so I made Fitz kick down the door. I went inside.
That's why the door
Freya
was off the
lying on
hinges.
floor.
Right, cool.
Flora was in the room too?
Yeah. I think she realized what had happened at the same moment I did. I didn't know what to do, so I ran downstairs to get Fifi. Her door was still locked, but I knocked and shouted at her. Eventually, she let me in. The lights were off, but I could see she'd already been crying. I told her what had happened. She didn't believe me. She got angry. First time I've ever seen her angry. I dragged her out into the hall. My father was there too, for some reason. The 3 of us went back up to Flora's tower. Then Felix arrived. He had Penny with him. Fifi had this idea. She wanted to do some kind of scientific test. She took me down to the library. We were in there about 15 minutes. After she was done, she went back upstairs and I went back to my room.
That's it?
That's it.
I kind of believe her statement because it has a lot of things that she admitted to, but like, you know? I'm gonna show her some big things. Let's show her the drawings.
Hey, that's me. Not a bad likeness.
And there's the red
It
rose
looks like you're
with the
standing
petals.
in a rose bush.
Is there something wrong with that?
Yeah, because we found these.
Those petals.
Rose
What about
petals.
them?
It's nothing. They're just unusual. Don't you think that's weird? That the letter isn't addressed to anyone or signed by anyone?
Someone's being deliberately secretive.
Or they're trying to manipulate you.
All right. Poppy's bedroom is unlocked.
I wonder what's in there.
We're going now. And this will be the second to last room, I guess. But it does say that there's probably a secret room. I wouldn't be surprised if there actually is. However, I think what I want to do is I want to end the stream. It's almost 1 a.m. Almost 1 a.m. Oh, look! Oh, look, little concept art. Adam and Jonathan, are they the two main guys from the Super Flush Brothers? I wonder if Sally had any other... Oh, she did. She had other hairstyles. Wait, who is that in the bottom right corner? These drawings show Sally still wearing her hair in the style from the previous game, although Catherine has already started looking for ways to give it a stronger silhouette. Wait. Hold up. I don't remember Catherine being in the first game. Oh, wait, Sally, sorry. Sally. Catherine's the name of the artist. Oh! It's that Sally. Oh! I didn't... Yes, this... Oh, it's this one! An early story idea was to include the little girl in the team. Obviously, we changed our minds. Oh, I kind of like the little girl being like somebody that just shows up. Hopefully, she shows up in this game at some point. You can tell that this guy, when he sketches, he uses the eraser quite heavily on his strong, hard black lines. Yeah, boy. Anyway, this is really interesting. But maybe we shouldn't be looking at this right now. Maybe we shouldn't be. Alright, I'm out of here. Let me end the stream. We'll pick this up again tomorrow and solve a mystery. Let me just check to see if it's actually saved. It is. Yeah. And it's in Poppy's room too. Good, 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 good. Good night. Because it's almost 1. Auf Wiedersehen. Tschüss. Thanks for watching.